Shades of gray.
Achromatopsia.
Legally blind.
Colorblind.
2200. Reduced visual acuity.
Black and white. Light sensitive.
Black and white TV show.
Being colorblind really stinks because you can't see how beautiful the world is or other people are. When you're colorblind, the world is in black and white, and when I put on my glasses, I see red, and I wish I could see color.
When Julie was about 4 months old, I think, I was changing her diaper one day, and I noticed her eyes were shimmying. They were sort of like this. And of course that seemed a little weird, so I called the doctor, and I talked to the nurse. And the nurse said, "Oh, that's nystagmus." And she said, "You know, you should bring her in." So I took her in to the pediatrician, and he examined her and said, usually nystagmus is associated with other things, and the two most likely candidates were achromatopsia and something called laborers. Achromatopsia is a static condition. She has it, and that's it. There isn't any sort of treatment or anything. It's just, okay, that's what she has.
When we found out that there was something wrong with her vision, my attitude was always, you know, we'll deal with it. It'll be fine. But one time Julie and I were talking, and I can't remember how old she was, but she said to me, and it still makes me tear up a little bit, she said to me, "Mommy, will I see color in heaven?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm sure you will. It'll be great." And so it was later that day when I started thinking about that. I don't know why, it still makes me cry, but I guess that was one time I sort of felt like she's really missing something.
My concern was about reading. I figured that, okay, it's sad that she won't be able to see colors, but you know, she can see things, but just the stuff that's right in front of her. But my concern was that it was going to affect her reading, and you know, kids who don't get a good jump on reading, everything else kind of just falls apart. But she loves to read.
I'm Julia's itinerant vision teacher, and I work with her once a week. We talk about self-advocacy skills, and this is so important. And the older Julia gets, the more proactive she needs to be in terms of advocating for herself in dealing with the visual impairment.
Which group contains animals that are all classified as vertebrates? Julia?
Fish, turtle, and bird.
Exactly. Fish, turtle, and bird are all vertebrates.
Julia really doesn't use her CCTV very often. She prefers to just use, do worksheets or do activities or assignments just using the paper that I give her. I do try to encourage her sometimes, but she says she doesn't really need it, and she prefers to just stay at her desk. I'm very curious as to what Julia actually sees through her eyes, and I ask her a lot of questions. I just want to know, what do things look like for her, and I would just love to just see through her eyes for one day, just to know what she sees, and then I think I could, certainly be able to help her even more if I knew that. Her art is phenomenal. She has her own little style to her art. It's really amazing.
She's kind of an amazing artist. She has a very good eye for what she sees, and she loves it, and she just generates, draws and draws and draws and draws. And she likes to use color, even though her sense of color is different than our sense of color. And as the mother who's the artist, it's like, yay, my daughter's an artist.
People with color blindness, or achromatopsia, the scientific word for it, they are a little more, I have to say, creative than other people.
We use our imagination a lot, and we always think of things like are totally new. They also have a good sense of color and style. Sometimes they can tell what color things are, even if they are colorblind. It's usually from shades, or people tell you what color things are. Like my mom told me my eyes were blue. Even though being colorblind seems kind of fun, it really isn't.
People get curious, like how I see things when they first realize that I'm colorblind. And I usually guess what the color is by the contrast of it. But sometimes there's like a mix of colors, like teal. I wouldn't be able to say green or blue because it's like neither. And sometimes colors are so complex that it's really hard to just tell what it is. So it's not easy. I like to draw myself, mostly. I used to make up little characters in my head when I was younger and just draw them and their friends, going on these little adventures. Back then I never colored anything, but today I finally bothered to use color.
When Julia got to be old enough where she could start getting out on a bicycle, and we had a bike with training wheels, but because of her vision, she was always very nervous and scared when you put her on a bike. So I thought about getting a tandem bike, a normal, where the sit right front and behind each other. But I thought Julia's always going to be in the back because the person in front's doing the steering, and Julia doesn't see well enough to steer. And so I thought, well, maybe there's another way to do this. It's a lot of fun to ride. Julia can sit in front. She can see the things that are in front of her as far as she can see, but I'm in back and I'm steering. There we go.
Yay!
All right.
Yay!
You go for a little ride?
Yay! I haven't done this in a long time.
We'll just ride around for about 10 minutes or so.
Okay, but do you still get to go fast?
Well, how fast do you want to go?
I don't know, you like the usual?
Well, we can go a little fast.
Something you're thankful for, Julia?
I'm thankful I can see.
I just hope that one day I will see color.
Yeah, I said, well, Julia, I'm sure for you, God will make sure that heaven is going to be in color and that you can see it.